Hello, everyone. This is another Black Conservative. I'm Ryan Bowen, and thank you all for joining me. Let me apologize right off the front for the quality of this video. As you see, I'm in a different location, different area. I don't have all my equipment, so be patient with me. When I get to where I want to be, it will be back to normal. But in this video, what I want to talk about is apparently, and this is kind of like a late notice due to the fact that haven't been doing any videos, but I've been keeping current with what's been going on. And apparently, former President Donald Trump trashed Rihanna's performance, halftime Super Bowl performance, okay, calling her talentless and so forth. And there's been a lot of controversy about him saying these types of, I heard different people make different comments about it. But I wanted to chime in on that myself. So I'm going to read to you just a small excerpt of an article from Breitbart News in reference to this debacle. Because to me, I see clearly why he trashed her performance. I see clearly why he trashed her performance. So let's get right into this. As former President Donald Trump has given Rihanna a big thumbs down for her Super Bowl halftime performance, calling it, quote, an epic fail and, quote, the single worst show in Super Bowl history. That could be subjective. Maybe it is, maybe not. I don't know. I didn't watch the Super Bowl. I said it in the previous video. I didn't watch the Super Bowl. I watched maybe a few minutes of some of the highlights, but I didn't really watch it because the Super Bowl holds no interest to me anymore. Ever since it's gotten woke and ever since it's become totally political, I've stopped watching it. So it holds no interest to me anymore. But I did watch bits and pieces of it. I did not watch the Rihanna halftime show, but I watched bits and pieces and clips of things that she did, which is what I'm going to also comment on as well. So let's get right. Let's read further in this. In a true social post following Sunday's big game, Donald Trump offered his scathing review of Rihanna's Super Bowl appearance, which was her first live event in 7 years. The show featured an arrangement of a dozen songs, including the hit singles Diamonds, and I like Diamonds. I like that song. An umbrella with a visibly pregnant pop star wearing what looked like a red parachute suit as she performed atop a platform suspended high above the football field. And then the article goes on to say, epic fail, Trump wrote. Rihanna gave without question the single worst halftime show in Super Bowl history. This after insulting fair more than half our nation, which is already in serious decline, with her foul and insulting language also so much for her stylist. Now, somebody may get upset about this, but here's why I believe Trump trashed Rihanna's performance, because according to the rest of this article, and you can read the rest of that article in the description box below, but according to the entirety of this article, apparently I think in 2019 the article states that Rihanna wrote somewhere F Trump, and clearly she was anti-Trump. She was against him when he was in office, and she had things to say about him that was not right. So to me, I see Trump as saying, okay, you know what? Now I'm not in office anymore. I'm going to get back at you. I'm going to get back at you. And this is what you have the single worst performance in NFL history. Now, like I said before, that's subjective. That's his opinion, and everybody's entitled to opinion. He's not in the wild. He's running. He's running to be reelected, and somebody may argue, well, if he's running to be elected, this could hurt his campaign reelection processes. Maybe, maybe not. It depends on people who's in love with Rihanna. Okay, if you in love with Rihanna, and then maybe so. Then you may take it personal. But she did say some scathing things about him when he was in office, according to this article in 2019. She wrote somewhere F Trump. She was all on board with Colin Kaepernick, some other things. Well, not Colin Kaepernick, but she was supposedly on board with the far left. And I see this as Trump getting back at her. Now, on the general consensus, and speaking about rather the performance that I did see with Rihanna. Now, what I did see, as I said earlier in the introductory video, I did see clips of her performance. My criticism is on her grabbing her crouch. When are these pop stars going to get to a point where they can just do a Super Bowl halftime performance or any halftime performance, whether it's on the Grammys? And the Grammys was just, from what I understand and what I saw, which was satanic, pure and simple. Okay, but when are pop stars? These pop stars going to get to a point where they can just do a good, you know, show without having to be nasty? You know, and I saw that she grabs her private parts and then she sniffs her hand. Why would you do that? Now, with consenting adults watching it, it's still sick, but I'm pretty sure that a significant number of young people, teenagers, was watching the Super Bowl, and to see her grab herself and humping it. I mean, come on, man. Now, Rihanna, from what I understand, and I was never a fan of Rihanna's work of music. I was never a fan of her. Like I said, I did like Diamonds. I did like that song. I also liked another song that she sung for um, what was it? One of the Star Trek sequels. I can't remember the name of the song. I think it was Sledgehammer. I really, really like that song. So it seems to me that she has a decent voice. Trump slammed her and said she don't have that much of a voice. But at any point, uh, I like those two songs. But I was never a fan of any of her music. In fact, I'm not a fan of any of the modern day pop artists' music necessarily. I don't have anything against them as individuals because I don't know them. But the songs I'm not really a fan of. And having said that about Rihanna's music, her musical ability, we got to remember that uh, she's a pop artist, and most pop artists, their their vocal range and their lyrical abilities and so forth are usually not all that great. You know, it's pop music. Pop is just so short for popular. It's pop music. It's not going to be anything that's designed to show the lyrical range of the singers, their musical abilities, and so forth. Pop music is designed to make you dance. It's designed to make you move, and that's the kind of music that Rihanna has sung and sings now. My only challenge is the nasty sexual allusions that she gives. That is so nasty. Usually I see men grabbing their crotch, which is nasty. But when you see women doing it, it's so unladylike. Let me say something else about this too. And I said this before. A lot of these pop artists, such as Beyonce, Rihanna, and others, Lady Gaga and others, some of these rap artists, if you want to call them rap artists, I believe that they sign contracts where the executive producers and the writers and executive producers say that you have to sing this kind of music. In fact, I was reading and studying that somewhere where one particular researcher stated that this is exactly what a lot of these pop artists have to do. They have to sing, or rather perform songs that are sexually provocative and promote violence and rebellion against authority, that they have to sing this kind of stuff. And then you have to ask yourself a question: why would the executive producers and the writers want these artists to sing this kind of music? Why would they want them to sing music that's sexually provocative, that promotes violence and so forth? Why would they want them to sing that? And I believe, based on my studies, that the reason for that is not because sex sells. That's a bunch of nonsense. Because there's a lot of music out there that did not promote sex but sold well. So the whole idea of sex selling is a bunch of bull crap. That's a bunch of nonsense. What I believe is that these executive producers are members of dark, nefarious groups whose objective is to destroy our youth, to destroy the minds and the consciousness of our youth by having their artists, if you want to call them artists, sing songs that are sexually provocative, that promote violence and so forth. They want them to do this so that this can get into the minds and attitudes and subconsciousness of a lot of the young people and thus destroy them for the future. It's easier to control a person when they're just sensual. When you just go by what you feel. You're not going by your mind. You're not using the brain God gave you. You're just going by what you feel. I think that that's the main reason why these celebrities, or these rather pop artists, sing these kind of songs. And these rappers, if you want to call them rappers, rap artists, sing these kind of songs. But I believe because the executive producers of the music industry and the writers of the music industry are members of nefarious, satanic, demonic groups, and the main objective is to corrupt our young people. That's the reason why. Has nothing to do with, well, sex sells. That's a bunch of nonsense. Now, somebody can argue on there and say, well, Mr. Bolin, sex does sell. Let me look at the porno industry. Porno industry is a multi-billion-dollar a year industry. Yes, but it's porno. Okay, it's porno. Porno don't have to be in everything. Okay, and at one point, porno was considered to be back in the early night, or like 1930s and 40s. You know, that kind of porno was still around, by the way, but people don't understand. Porno has been around for decades, but like in the early 1930s, 40s, and 50s, it was more underground. It didn't become a mainstream thing until the big major leagues got a hold of it. Then it became a major thing, and then they began to promote it all over in order to corrupt the people. It wasn't just to make money; it was to corrupt the people, to corrupt the masses, particularly the young people. It was a covert operation to completely dismantle our society, to split it up, to create millions of people who are driven by passion, driven by emotion, driven by sex, driven by a animal appetite. Because once again, it's easier to control you when you're just driven by sensuality. But I ain't gonna go into all the detail of that. That may be for a future video. But suffice it to say, people like Rihanna, I feel real bad for. I feel real sorry for. And it seems like to me that you would get to a point where you can just say, well, you know what? As an artist, I'm getting tired of singing these kind of songs. I'm getting tired of grabbing my crotch. I'm getting tired of pumping the floor. Let me do something different. Let me, at least do something, at least suggest that I have some kind of talent. I'm just saying. But I just wanted to give my spin on that whole debacle, what Donald Trump did and said. I mean, I think that that's just his way of getting back at her. But what she said about him in 2019, writing somewhere, I think it was some kind of sign, some said F Trump, now that's his way of getting back at her. Because, really, I mean, let's look at it. Does it really, I mean, why would he say it? Somebody could argue, well, that's Donald Trump. Donald Trump just come back at you. That could be part of it. But I think the other reason, too, is simply because, hey, he's getting back at her. He's saying, back at you, back at you. Okay, so that's my spin on that. That's my spin on that. What do you guys think? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. God bless you all, and see you again.